All right, Jerry Norton here, and what happens when you are talking with a motivated seller and you make your offer to them and they say, you know what, your offer is way too low, and they don't accept your offer? What do you do? How do you get a motivated seller to accept your offer? We're gonna talk about it on today's video right now. Okay, welcome back. Jerry Norton here, and we are doing another episode of Real Estate Freedom TV. On this channel and on these videos, you learn everything you need to do to master real estate investing so that you can live your dream life. And we are right now inside the Motivated Seller series of videos. We're putting together a number of videos all designed around working with motivated sellers. Now, motivated sellers is the key to getting good deals, because when you're able to attract and find and talk to and negotiate with motivated sellers, you'll be able to put together some really good deals that you can flip for profit. And in today's video, what I want to do is I want to really focus on and talk about how to get a motivated seller to accept your offer, okay? And this happens all the time where, you know, you run the numbers, you look at this deal, you feel everything feels right, you're building a relationship with the seller, they're motivated, everything's kind of falling into place, until you get to that point where you say, well, here's the price I need to get the deal for, and the seller says, oh, that's way too low. What happens? What do you do when that happens? Well, first of all, I want you to understand that that is very common. That's going to happen. That's natural, right? In fact, more times than not, the number you need to get the deal for is going to be lower than somebody's willing to sell it for. And that just means that they're not motivated or not motivated enough, okay? Because the number that we give somebody, the number that we come to, is the right number. People say to me, oh, your number's too low. No, it's not. My number is right where it needs to be, given the property, given the value, given the repairs, given all of the situation going on here, it is the right number. Your job is to put that deal, put that offer in front of the seller, and do that as many times as you can, because eventually you'll get a yes, right? I have this philosophy that if it takes 10 no's to get one yes, then great. I just got to go make 10 offers or 100 offers, or how many ever offers I need to make. So it is a numbers game, and you have to understand that. So many people make a couple offers, they don't get accepted, they can't handle the rejection, and they quit, they give up. Don't give up, okay? No matter how many times you get a rejection, you get a no, get back out there, make another offer, because it's just a matter of time. The deal of a lifetime is always right around the corner, and you will get those deals of a lifetime if you're willing to put yourself out there and make offers. Okay, so let's talk about how we do this. Whenever we're talking with a motivated seller, usually that motivated seller has a number in their mind, and usually the number is unrealistic. Not always. Sometimes they're like, you know, have a really low number, they just want out of there, and that's great. But oftentimes, the number you're at and the number they're at, there's a disparity there. There's a spread there. And the reason why is because that seller thinks their property is worth more than it really is in its current state. And what they do is they often look at what their neighbor's house sold for on the left and on the right, and they go, okay, well, you know, my house is pretty similar, same size, same street. You know, their house sold for $200,000, so my house is worth $200,000. And they kind of use some really fuzzy logic with that, because what we know is that the condition of their house is probably different than the condition of your house. And so what happens is they think their house is worth more than it's really worth. Now, how do you help them understand that it's not worth what they think without offending them? Because if you do it wrong, you'll offend them. If you say to them, you know what, there's no way your house is worth $200,000. Your house is a dump. Look at it. Look at this place, you know. And you're going to offend somebody, right? Right? So you can't do that. Instead, what you need to do is you need to help them understand the difference between retail and the difference between investor cash buyer. And they don't know that usually, the difference there. So here's how you do that. In fact, I'll share a story with how I did this. I had this seller call me up, and we started talking. Everything looked great. I met at the kitchen table, and I'm talking to the seller, and I said to the seller, I said, okay, well, you know, how much do you want for your property? and it was something like 300,000 is what they said. And my number was like 220, right? We're like $80,000 off. So they said, well, I'd like to get $300,000 for my house. And I said, okay, now where are you getting that number? What makes you think that that's a good number? So I just asked, okay, well, why do you think that's a good number? And they said, well, my neighbor's house sold for $300,000 like last month. I said, okay, your neighbor's house sold for $300,000. I said, you know what? You can get every bit of $300,000 for your house. You totally can. You can get $300,000 just like your neighbor did, and you can do that too. But in order to get $300,000, I'd like to explain to you a few things of what your house would need to be in order to get that. Do you want me to share that with you? Okay, sure. You want me to share that with you? Great. Well, your house is going to need to be updated, because the reason why your neighbor's house sold for $300,000 is because they remodeled it. It's got a new kitchen, it's got new tile, it's got new paint, it's got new carpet. It's at really current market condition, and that's why they were able to get $300,000. So your house can do the same thing if you're willing to fix some things up. Now, the second thing in order to get that is you're going to need a retail buyer. Now, a retail buyer is a homeowner out looking for a house that will pay full market value, which is what you want, $300,000. So you're going to need a real estate agent to list the house for sale. That real estate agent, like I said, they're going to want you to fix up a lot of things in here so that it will sell for full market value. That real estate agent, they're going to want you to fix up these things. They're also going to want you to list it for sale on the MLS, the multiple listing service, and they're going to want to do showings. They're going to want to bring people through the house, and all of that's going to take time. It's going to take money to fix it up. It's going to take energy on your part. If you're willing to do all of that, then you can totally get $300,000. I'm with you. In fact, I know a really good real estate agent that I could refer to you that you could work with, and they could help you do that. But you are going to need to have some money for contractors and money to do fix up. But why don't I could put you in touch with my real estate agent. They'll walk through, they'll tell you all the things that you should fix up, and that could totally be the way you want to go. So if that's what you'd like to do, then I can help you do that. So now you're adding value, right? You're always helping. If it's not what you would like, if you would like to just sell the property quickly as is, meaning you don't have to put a dime into it, just be rid of it, be done with it, and move on with life, then that's a whole different scenario. Do you want to know what that looks like? And they'll say, yeah, well, I'd like to compare the two. Okay, great. So an investor like myself, what they would do is they would come in and they'd have to buy the property as is, and they would have to come in and they would have to put $40,000 or $50,000. I don't know for sure exactly yet because I haven't run all my numbers, but just by the looks of things, probably $40,000 to $50,000 to hire contractors, buy materials, come in here and fix it up. Probably going to take 90 days, 120 days working with contractors, fixing things up. Once it's fixed up, then what I would do is I would hire a real estate agent. They're going to come in and take pictures. They're going to put it on the market. I'm going to have to show it. It'll probably take another 30, 60, 90 days or so to find a buyer that's willing to buy. Then it's going to take 30 days to close with that buyer. They got to get financing and approved for financing. So probably take 4 or 5, maybe 6 months for me to then realize retail value, and then I got to build in a little bit of profit there for all my time and work and energy and effort and money and all of that. But I can do all of that, so you don't have to. But in order to do that and pay cash and come in and close quickly, then I need to be down here and buy it for $220,000. And that leaves me room to do all those things and I just made those numbers up just to illustrate. But that's why I'm down here. So what is it that you want to do? Do you want a cash investor who can close quickly? Then great, here's the number for that. And it's a really good number, it's a fair number because it's taking into consideration all these things. Or do you want a retail buyer and get full market value and do all of that? Then you need a real estate agent and you need to do all this work. And so I help them understand the difference. And I found that if I do that, then I'm not offending them because I'm neutral, whichever way you want to go. You want to go retail? Great. You want to go with an investor? I can help you out that way too. When they feel like you're just trying to help them in any way that you can and you're not pushing them one way or another, then it really takes the wall down. It opens up for a conversation. It helps them understand why your number's low. Most times they're like, oh, you're just trying to rip me off. You're at 220, I think it's worth 300, and you're just trying to rip me off. No, I'm not. Here's why I need to be at that number. And then they're like, okay, that makes sense. I understand now what you do and why you need to do that. I really don't have the time, money, or motivation to do all of that. You do, and you should get paid for that. That's fair. And so that makes sense. Okay, I'm now changed my mindset about why your number's down here lower. And you painted a really good picture to help me see that and visualize that. And I found that when I do that, I typically can get the seller thinking now along the lines of where they really should be for what they want. And if for some reason they do want to go with a retail buyer, then what I do is I have a real estate agent I refer them to, and I get paid a finder fee. Now, make sure you check into commissions and licensing law for that, but you can also get paid for either way. If they go retail, you can get a finder fee. If they decide to buy it from you, then you can get a contract, wholesale it, or buy it yourself, get funding, fix and flip it yourself. But either way, you're helping somebody and you're getting paid to do it. Isn't that awesome? Love that. So this is how you get them to do that. Now, everything I talked about here with motivated sellers, I put this all together in a cheat sheet. It's a PDF download that you can get, and it has all the scripts, has everything I talked about. It'll help you stay on track. So if you'd like to get this resource, it's available. You can download it for free. Just click the link in the description. You can have that. What I do is I print it out, have it in front of you. It's got your scripts, everything you need to talk to motivated sellers. And so I'll give you that for free. All right, get that now, and I'll see you on the next video.